Welcome to Pieces of My Art page. I have so many new people in here that have come into my Pieces of My Art page just over the last couple weeks, partly because, hi Yvonne, I'm doing another paint away. So if you did that before with me and you were waiting for me to do another online painting class, this is it. It's starting tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up. I'm going to put in the comments the sign up link. So if you have not signed up yet, make sure you do that. That way you'll be ready to go if you want to paint tomorrow night. Hi, Bonnie. So glad to see you here. So anyways, if you're not ready to paint tomorrow night, it's okay. You can still sign up. You can still watch the videos whenever you want. Everything's recorded. Everything's there for you to use when it fits your time. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But anyways, so it's going to be fun. So for you ones that don't know, maybe you just happen to catch a live, you haven't been on here, this pumpkin painting over my head here is what we're painting in our next paint away. And I know we did it in the studio. We did a small section of it as a class in the studio a few weeks ago. And we had so much fun with it. And I know sometimes pumpkins can be frustrating for some people, and that's why I have people that come to the studio and paint. They're like, I would never do it online because you can't help me there. I can't maybe help you physically by, just helping on your actual painting for you, but I can really take time to really show things to you on your, on the video. And so that way you can really practice and you can try over and over and over. So we don't have any time limits. So anyways, that's coming up. So I just thought I would hop on. Actually, I had planned on doing this Friday and the day got away, of course. I've been working so hard on all this stuff coming up, and I have new things coming up for my Heart Club membership. I'm going to have a brand new membership site, and that's getting put together by somebody. And so it's going to be exciting new things for us here at Pieces of My Art. So always something good going on. I am just so blessed with all the wonderful things that happen and all the people that paint with me. I couldn't ask for any better thing to be doing than to share painting with you guys. So let me get my camera switched, and you guys, if you're watching, just say hello. I'd love to hear from you because I know that there's new people. So I know there's a lot of friends, and I know if you've done it. So tell me, just say I've done a paint away. I'm back for another paint away. Or if this is your first time, or if you're new here, or maybe you're local and you paint in the studio and that's the only way you ever want to paint. That's totally fine. I'm glad that I get to do that too. So I get to do it all. So anyways, I'm going to switch to the overhead view here. So that way you can watch me paint. I do need to get my light just a little brighter because I turned it down so I wouldn't glow. But anyways, so I'm just going to paint just a little. It's a little 8 by 8. I was going to say 8 foot, 8 by 8 canvas. And I'm just going to paint a pumpkin. And I use mixing colors. So if you're not familiar with how I teach, you've never seen me paint, this is how I do it. So we use, and this plate is, let me scoot it over so you can see what I got. I should have got a clean plate, but oh well, I don't. This is dried paint on here. I use plates over and over too. Sometimes I have a hard time throwing them away. So this is bright red and chrome yellow. Proud Heart Club member. Yes. Yvonne, you're awesome. I love Heart Club. We have so much fun in there. Chrome yellow and phthalo blue. So these are the colors I use in my studio for those classes. These are the colors. This is clogged up, I can tell, but I'll get enough out. I don't need that much paint. I'm already probably got more than I need, and I already got it on my fingers. I can never get through opening a paint bottle without having paint on me. So then the next is, this is titanium white. White is white paint, white paint. Did you know there's a lot of different names for white paint? And there's different colors of white. So who knew? And Mars Black. There's different blacks too. But anyways, this one's titanium white and Mars Black. Not that it makes that much of a difference, I don't think. It just depends on what you're doing it for, but not for this. We'll be fine. So I have plenty of paint here. Still, I know, Yvonne, I do want to do shirts. So it's not like top priority, but I do want to find a way where I don't have to like buy them and then have them here at my studio. I don't want to be a shipping company. So at some point I want to have that kind of stuff on my website to where people can just order the size shirt they want, the color they want, and it just ships right to you, and I don't have to buy a certain quantity, which, I mean, that works for local people, but it's not so good for when you got people all over, which is awesome. All right, so there's my paint colors. I'm not going to go into this really deep. I'm just going to basically just demonstrate for you guys this painting and just how to have fun with it. So I'm going to start with, well, I was going to start with background. Yeah, I will. So who knew? Black and yellow make green. Some people think it's kind of a yucky green. To me, it's a very earthy and natural green, but I like it for my base. And I'm going to go ahead and paint around my edges maybe. So this is a deeper profile canvas. So what you want to do if you have one like that, again, you can do canvas boards. You can get a pad of mixed media. You can paint on cardboard. If you paint on cardboard, you'll want to, and I'm not gonna paint all the way through this. I'm just gonna kind of shape. A lot of times, I'm just trying to keep this so I don't have to wait for dry time. So a lot of times, or typically, we'll just paint all of our background and we'll put stuff right on top because it works that way really well. But tonight, I'm just going to kind of keep it opening for my pumpkin, but it will overlap. And I also want it to get lighter at the top. Please say hello if you're watching. I want to see who's around this evening. Don't be shy. You guys can't be shy. I put myself out here on video like all the time, not on this page. I need to do it more, but I don't. But I had to get over seeing myself on camera, that's for sure. But you guys can just say hello, unless you're just busy and you're just watching with the sound down while your husband's watching football. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. And Shelly, hello again. I'm glad you're painting with me. Are you doing, I know you did our last paint away. That was awesome. The flowers. That was the last one that we did. Hi, Diane. You have my aunt's name. I've told you that before. So welcome back, ladies. It's wonderful to have you. I keep hitting my phone up there. So I'm just showing real quick a pumpkin painting just to kind of give anybody else an idea of what's going on with this paint away. What is a paint away anyways? I came up with an actual dictionary definition for it. I need to do a post about it. And I couldn't even tell you what it says. But it's just when we just need to get away. Just like a vacation, a getaway, this is a paint away. We're going to get away and we're going to paint. And sometimes you don't realize how much you need that until you actually do it. And that's usually what I hear from people that haven't really painted much. And that's why I get people that come back over and over and over again, because it's just so good for your heart. Because when you're painting, your mind kind of goes into this really awesome creative realm of life, and you're looking at what you're doing and you're thinking about what you're doing, and your brain does not have the space to think about all the other stuff that's going on in the world and in your life and everything else. So it just kind of gives you a break from everything, and it just helps you to be present in this moment of creativity. And so I want you guys to just be able to learn to paint. like a 5-year-old, where you're just allowing yourself. It's like you have to retrain yourself to be creative. I was listening to a really good church sermon this evening, replay from one I like to listen to. And he was talking about creativity and how I would like to re-listen to it and maybe write down some of the stuff that he said. Hi, Carol. Oh, awesome. Welcome. I'm trying to see if I missed somebody. But anyways, just saying, like the younger, like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, they just like, they're creative geniuses. And then it was a study that they did, and they would do it, when they were 7 or 8. And then it was like 98% of these children this young age were like so creative and just could create things and do things that was just beyond what an adult could do. And then every time they retested this group, as they got older, they were less and less of them that had this creative ability. And it's like, it's not that we learn to be creative as we get older, as we're learning to not be creative, not on purpose, but we're just, everything else is squeezing the creativity out of us. And so I want to bring that back. And I've seen it happen. I am one of the my favorite things that I get to go do is I go to an assisted living and a memory care home every month, and I paint with these people. And the ones that are in assisted living, they're all cognitively okay, and they paint, but they're insecure with their paintings and they want a lot of help, but they have so much fun. And I've been painting with them for probably 3 years now, and so they just love it. But when I go paint with the memory care, this is the part that just is so amazing to me. I love all these ladies. Some of them, there's some gentlemen there too, but mostly it's ladies. And it's like the highlight of my month. And I go into the memory care people, and and it's like, usually when I teach the assisted care, and in my class, I'll have my own canvas, and I'll take everybody through the steps and then help them as they need. In the memory care, they're not really focused on what I'm doing. I give them the reference picture of what we're painting that day. Didn't really matter what it is, and they'll look at it, and it's so interesting to see how their minds interpret the picture that they see. And right now there's just an awesome group. There's some new people in there, and it's just like, it just blesses me so much. And it's just like, they have got to be going back in time in their minds. And it's like, they don't complain about what their painting looks like. They don't complain about how it's turning out, or, some of them a little bit more comprehensive of what's going on, and they'll kind of, think, oh, this doesn't look right. I'm like, no, it's beautiful. I mean, they just have their own way of expressing things. And some of them, you can tell it was the painting. Some of them, it's totally different. I don't get men very often. I had this man, and he painted, and he used to paint, and it was just like, it brought him back in touch with that. And he had this whole scene of just colors. He painted every bit of his canvas. I took a picture of it, and it's in a post on this group, on this page, just a couple weeks ago. And he had this painting, and he titled his painting, and I want to say, I wish I would have wrote it down. We did write it on the back of his painting, but it was like, oh shoot, I couldn't even remember. It was a real long title, and then he named it something different, but it was like something about the storm, and shoot, it's horrible that I don't remember this. You think sometimes those moments, you'll never forget that, and then I don't remember it. But it was like, he hears the storm in the wind, or it was like a sentence type title for it. And then he put another thing. He was going to paint like an elk or a deer or something down by the water. Well, then he thought it looked like an eagle. And that was what was cool, because he didn't get upset or think, oh, this doesn't look like a deer. He just decided, well, this looks like an eagle. It didn't matter that he didn't paint what he thought he was going to paint. He just talked it into it. And I'm kind of like that too. I'll explain my painting. If it doesn't turn out like what I had in my mind, I'll just explain it to be a different story of this painting. So then it was this eagle. And so then he had another title for his painting. So it was so cool. But anyways, these people that are in memory care are already struggling with their minds, but it's so neat to see them go back to something that they did when they were young, or maybe didn't ever do at all, but they became, they're like childlike, and their creativity just comes out of them. And so all that to say is I want you guys to unleash that creativity in yourselves again, and that freedom to paint childlike, and to not be hard on yourselves about your painting, to not feel like you can't do something and it's not good enough, or this whole comparison thing, like it doesn't look like yours, Laurie, or it doesn't look like the picture. So what? We need uniqueness. God created us all unique, and we all have our own unique abilities and gifts, and God put us on this earth to share those gifts with other people in different ways. If we all painted the same, if we all painted just like Laurie, this world would be boring. What's the purpose if we're all identical? What happened? Oh, my phone. I bet it died. No, let's see. I got to plug it in. All that talking, and I forgot the most important step, and it's probably because, my low battery. Okay, I should be back on, I think. Might have to, yeah, there we are. Okay, sorry, my battery. So anyways, that kind of interrupted what I was saying, but you're getting my point, right? So we need your painting abilities, no matter what you think of them. I think they're beautiful. All right, it might be boring, but it will be beautiful. That's right. What's boring? To be like me? No. Shelley, yes, we all need, it's just like, just do it for yourself, and every time you paint, you get better at it. You'll find your own way to paint. It's kind of like your own DNA, you just find your way of what your paintings look like and your own style. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that develop in the people in my Heart Club. As they paint over and over, they start having their own styles to where I could probably see a painting and I could tell you who painted it, which is pretty cool. All right, so all that I talked. So now I'm going to paint a pumpkin. Before I do that, I'm going to add some other colors on top of this background. So I want to get a little lighter blue up at the top. So I'm going to just take some white and some blue, and I do want a little bit of yellow in it. That's a little too much, but I just want to kind of lighten up at the top, getting some little different color in it. So different paintings that we do, different kinds of paintings would be different amounts of paint. This is, like I said, this is a really small painting, so you're not going to need a lot of paint. Sometimes if we're doing like a sunset, sky and water, we'll just really put the paint on thick. That way we can kind of get it to spread and blend while it's wet. But these little ones, or when I'm doing, I just kind of like a certain kind of style of my brush strokes. I love my brush strokes to show. I am not one, unless we're doing a sunset, but I'm even getting where I don't even want those brush strokes to be super smooth. So it's just playing it. So I do it fairly thin, and the more I work with this paint, it just kind of dries while I'm messing with it. But if you mess with it too much, you lose the different colors in it. And that's part of the fun of having paints that you mix, is having these different colors that you create yourself. That's another thing about when you make your own paintings, or you mix your own paint, that you really probably won't very often make the same colors twice, and they won't look just like anybody else's. So it just really helps with the uniqueness of your painting by having your own colors to mix. Not that you have to, but it does add so much deeper gratification, I think, knowing that you made your own colors. And it takes practice. I've been doing it for 10 years. All right. Put some of this color down in here. I'll come back to it. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush out, and I'm going to do this pumpkin really quick. It'll probably only be another 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. This isn't going to be anything really long. Again, if anybody's come on here and just watching, I would love to have you say hello and see who's on here. I want my pumpkin to be a really pastel pumpkin, so I'm going to use a lot of white with it. And I noticed that when people, for one, there's not too many other things to paint for fall paintings. It seems like you try to think of other things to paint for fall. And it's like pumpkins. It's always pumpkins this or pumpkins that. But I know I notice, so when I do pumpkin classes a lot, or I do, that it's like everybody really, it seems like most people really like the really bright orange pumpkins. I know that there's all the soft colors, and I'm just going to make mine a little bit softer, but I see a lot of people just really want the true pumpkin orange color, which is totally fine. So pumpkins, there's going to be a stem in the middle, so I always paint. So if you could visualize yourself actually holding a pumpkin, or if you have a pumpkin handy, and you find the center of it, and you rub your hands from the stem all the way around the side, and that's what you're doing with your brush. That's how you know. So like in the front here, it's like straight down. I also am not mixing all my colors together because I like to see the streaks in it. Now, if I were to sit here and just mix up this one orange color that I have in my head for this pumpkin, I'll get one orange color for this pumpkin, and then all of a sudden my pumpkin is very one-dimensional, and it won't have the textures and the layers and the dimension that makes it look like it's a pumpkin in the direction it's these ribs are and stuff. It just gives that dimension to it. So always nice to be able to just put colors on your brush, and that's, again, that's something that's gets better with time. I've done it so much that I can pretty much just put colors on my brush and I know what it's going to look like. I saw your painting, candy corn feet. That was so cute. I love it. Actually, you know what, Yvonne, I was just thinking, so keep that picture handy. I was thinking I was looking through, trying to find pictures, the story of my life, trying to find pictures for different things and going through my 7,000 pictures. And I saw back when Caden was little, I just buy those little mini pumpkins, the pumpkin pie pumpkins. And instead of carving pumpkins when they're little, I used acrylic paint and let them paint faces on their pumpkins. That way the kids could do that, and that was a lot of fun for them. And I saw a picture of the pumpkins that Caden painted, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share that as some ideas of what to do with kids, as far as a craft. And I think underneath that I'll say, what kinds of things have you done or whatever. So that would be a good place for you to share your cute little craft idea of the candy corn feet, because that was adorable. So I'm doing a little bit darker. And so this back is just some extra bumps. My stem's going to go right in the middle there. But anyways, I just get some darker paint, a little bit heavier color to just kind of give the shadow of where those ribs are. And then let's just take some white and highlight the tops of these a little bit. And you can do all kinds of fun colors. Colors don't ever have to be limited to what our brain tells us things should be a certain way, This is your paint world. You can create your own colors. Okay, so I do want, so my pumpkin doesn't look like it's floating. I do want to have darker towards the bottom. I'm going to add a little black into my red. I have too much white on it. Let me start this fresh so you can kind of get a better idea. So I don't have brown, right? And I don't really want brown for my shadow, but I just want to kind of show you how to do a dark red and without having the white in it, because the white with the black makes it look gray. So red, so just like yellow and black makes green, red and black make purple. Now I don't really want purple, so I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in it, and that's going to make it a little bit more brown. And brown is another one of those things. It's like sometimes you get a certain color brown in your head or what you think that brown should look like. And then you get frustrated because you're not getting the brown that you think you want. And it's just like, let the brown be what it is. It's okay. All right, so I'm just kind of putting this darker along the bottom of my pumpkin. I'm going to kind of blend it in now. So I'm just taking paint before that dries and just kind of pulling that down in there. I kind of went too far in that one. Just to kind of soften out. Let me put that back on there. There, I'll pull some of that color up onto my pumpkin up here. So it kind of has a purpley pink color to it, which is really pretty. All right. Get some of this darker color down in here where my stem's going to go. All right, so now just a couple little light colors. Is it the Cinderella pumpkins, or are those the blue-green ones? I don't remember. We have an awesome pumpkin patch really close to where we live, and they have all those different colors of pumpkins. It's kind of amazing how many different colors there are. So I'm always like telling people your pumpkin can be any color. They're all different colors. So whatever color you end up with can be your pumpkin. Alrighty, I feel like I need a little bit more of this red. Kind of on there. Alright. Sometimes when you get a lot of layers, it can get frustrating because then you try to put too much on there and it needs time to dry. It's like I always say, it's like back in the day, if you ever used to paint your own fingernails and you tried to put that second coat on before the first coat was dry, and you get this sticky gummy mess. So that's kind of what you got to watch out for. But anyways, we're just going to let that dry a minute. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make this deeper color at the bottom for a shadow. So I'm just gonna make a darker green. So I'm taking more black and yellow. And I didn't clean my brush. So that just means whatever colors in my brush is gonna kind of come in there too. I just want to get this pumpkin anchored so it's not this hovering pumpkin. And I don't try to make an actual shadow. I'm not trying to make the shape of the pumpkin. But I just kind of add this shadow and it just pulls it down on the ground a little bit. All right, I'm going to use my little brush. I'm going to do a stem. So the stem can be brown, it can be green. I usually do kind of a green color and then I'll add some highlights and shadows on it. But let's just start with a yellow and black, and we'll get some white. Just get a little loader. I am going to put a little dot of red in there. So, all right, so my stem, so you gotta, I know I want you to be childlike when you paint, but I also want you to think, you know what, stems probably aren't a square. And you gotta think it comes off of a vine, so I usually make this stem that just got, you know, how you pull it off, and so you got the stem that's like kind of, and I push that stem right down into that middle. So you're not really seeing the base of it because the curve of that pumpkin's kind of hiding the base of it a little bit. And it's still wet, so it's kind of pulling some of that orange in there. But I will put some other colors on it and just kind of make it almost like, I hate to say like when I'm going to say almost striped, but then it's like, don't try to make it striped on purpose. You know, it's not like, but it has those little grooves in it. So I kind of make my brush stroke kind of create these little lines going through there. Nothing is evenly spaced. Nothing is, you know, matchy or anything like that. It just gives some grooves in that. Now, I know we're going to do leaves on our big painting, but I'm not going to do leaves right now. So that'll be something you guys need to, if you're watching and you have not signed up for this paint away, you guys are going to miss out. It's going to be so much fun. We start tomorrow night. If you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be around, there's no way I can watch this. You guys, it's all recorded. So you can do it whenever fits your time, but you just got to sign up so you can get all the links to where we're going to be doing it at. And so that way you can watch it and just do it when it fits your schedule. So we got another month and a half of pumpkin season, all the way up to Thanksgiving. So this painting will be beautiful. I'm gonna, as soon as I have my second painting done from this class, I'm gonna put one in my living room up on the mantle. And I'm going to get my fall decorations. I haven't even decorated in my house for fall. The only decorations I have are out here in front of the studio with the hay bales that I did that for the birthday party because Pieces of My Art is 10 years old. I cannot believe it. God has been so good. Just when I look back and I just think of look at all this paint that I'm not even going to touch. And I won't be back out here to paint till tomorrow night, and it'll be dry by then. But anyways, I'm going to get just a little bit more white. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, I know some of you probably be watching this later in a replay, still say hello. Like I said, I want to know if you're new to Pieces of My Art, or if you've done a paint away before, or if you just paint in the studio with me. Just kind of tell everybody a little bit about your experience with Pieces of My Art, because there's a lot of new people that have come through here this last month, which is exciting. I could just sit here and I could just paint and paint and paint, but I'm not. I'm gonna go in and get ready for bed and get stuff ready for tomorrow. Diane, I know it's going to be so much fun. So, all right, that's it for tonight. I just wanted to hop in and share this with you. I think I already put the link in the comments. Yep. So if you have not signed up for the paint away, do that. You know, even if you end up, I'm not going to say that. I want you to do it. I want you to come and paint. I want you to paint when it fits your time. I want you to try something new. If you're just a watcher and you just think, man, I wish I could paint like that. You can paint like that. Actually, you can paint like you can paint. And so I want to encourage you to do that. So anyways, you guys have a great rest of your evening. And I have a big fun evening plan for the people in the Pumpkin Patch Paint Away for tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll see you there. Bye, Yvonne. Thank you. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I got to find the finish button. There it is. All right. It's like I got to figure out where to shut this off. So you guys, I will see you tomorrow, I hope.